Good morning. Really excited to be here this morning at the Startup Scaleup Summit. I'm really excited to be on this fireside chat. I'm Kristy Roff from Get Ahead. We're a virtual agency.
We have a network of offices across the UK, which is growing, and Kristy and I both run one of the regional offices. So as a virtual agency, we collaborate with a network of, I think, around 50 freelancers who deliver a sort of growing range of services for our clients.
Yeah, I think it's also worth highlighting here as well, Marie, that our backgrounds are quite similar. We both stepped out of the corporate world for a number of reasons. Probably one, to kind of achieve that kind of flexible work-life balance.
Yeah.
And secondly, to realise that sense of success and personal achievement in doing something for ourselves. And so stepping into this business really allowed us to do that. And as a result of that, that's something we can really relate to when it comes to dealing with our own clients who are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs and startups. So they know what it's like, and we know what it's like to be in a growing business in the early stages.
Definitely. And I know we both kind of love to sort of help those people and our clients to grow and to sort of realise what their sort of dream was when they started their business, to be able to do what they set out to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of knowing what their passions are and what their drivers are, and also fully understanding what it takes to run a business in the background.
Exactly. So I guess the sort of triggers then for our clients to want to start to outsource parts of their business. I think probably the first thing that triggers that off is the time. So we all know that you start doing a business to do something you love, and actually all the things that need to go on in the background take up so much of your time.
Absolutely.
So most of our clients are looking to get that gift of time back, so they can sort of do what they set out to originally do. I think the other one is skills. So as a business owner or an entrepreneur, you have your specific skill set that you want to maximize in your business, and you might not have the skills to do the bookkeeping and the marketing and everything else that goes with it. And also the inclination, you might not want to spend your time doing the bookkeeping and doing your social media management if that's not where your passion is.
No, and it's often one of the cases, isn't it? You might be able to do these things, but you don't want to, and that's the real, that doesn't help your motivation levels if you're doing something you actually don't really want to be doing, and what drove you to do your business in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And I think so one of the sort of barriers, I suppose, could be that there's cost involved of asking someone else to help and support when you're a growing business. Might not have the funds that you envision as yet, but I think it's important to think about the value and what the efficiency is you get back. So what's the cost of your time versus asking someone else to do it, who will probably have to do it in half the time. And you can focus on the sort of revenue driving, value adding services that you do for your clients, or focus on your product development, or whatever it might be in your core business.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And also it's there's a massive assumption here when it comes to virtual outsourcing, and people automatically think about a VA. And we're here to kind of dispel that myth about what a VA is. People either assume that it's an automated process or a robot or something that's kind of set up and there's no personal interaction, or in actual fact they might think that it's just a PA, and I use the word just very sparingly, because actually a personal assistant is a great asset to any business, but that's not all we do. A virtual assistant is actually a virtual expert in any specialist field that they're trained and skilled and qualified in. So just to kind of get that out there, a VA doesn't just mean a personal PA or a robotic PA.
An Alexa.
An Alexa, yeah, exactly. Don't say that too loudly, otherwise I will start stuff going off in the house. So there are loads and loads of benefits to outsourcing. And as small businesses that we talk to regularly, as soon as you mention the word outsourcing, there's often this automatic barrier that kind of crops up, and this overriding challenge that people have that we help them face in sort of thinking, actually outsourcing isn't a bad thing to do. people that have started their own businesses can become quite possessive and quite sort of want to take ownership and have that ultimate control over their businesses.
Yeah.
They don't want to kind of let go of those reins, and that fear of handing over the reins or that perceived control can sometimes really get in the way of their own business growth.
Yeah.
So working with an agency like Get Ahead is absolutely vital to some of those organisations, because when we engage with them, we take that real consultative approach with them. So, for example, a client might actually think, you know what, I'm not getting my leads in, I'm not getting the clients that I need to be working with. And a perfect example of that would be the trades industry. You know, they might think, oh, you know, my website's not working, my social media activity isn't working. What do? I know I need somebody to help with my social media management. So they pick up the phone, they speak to a social media expert. They might go to Fiverr or another alternative agency, an offshore agency. What we do is we take a step back and we actually question their reasons for coming to us and say, is that really what you need? Is that what you need in your business to help you develop and grow? And when we take a deeper look and we take a deeper dive into their business and we say, well, actually, your social media activity is fine, your website's fine, but what's happening is you're missing calls because you've got your head under a sink all day. So actually what you need is a telephone answering service that's going to allow you not to miss and ensure that your prospect clients aren't going to the next person on the Google listing. So it's taking that kind of holistic view and making sure that we can help clients in the right way and really understand their business.
Yeah, I think that can be really valuable, actually, just having like an external kind of, you know, objective view on your business. You're so, I think you're so in it, you know, like I say, it's your baby, you know it so well.
Yeah.
You sometimes can't see the wood for the trees. Like having someone external without that kind of emotional connection to it can see, actually, maybe you should do it, you know, why are you doing something like that way? Let's do it this way. That'd be a lot more, you know, a lot more efficient. And that's what you need to do.
That fresh pair of eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, we know so well with many of our clients, when you are on your own and you're a solopreneur running a business and as an individual, it's quite a lonely place. So to have a bit of a support team behind you that can help you, sort of mentor you and guide you and just be somebody else to be a bit accountable to is a real bonus as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think other massive advantage for most of our clients is the fact that you know, outsourcing rather than hiring is a lot more flexible and a lot more agile. So there's not the commitment there. There's not all the costs involved with hiring someone. You can get you know, the resource you need when you need it on demand and kind of mix up what that might be. If you're you need some extra pair of hands, hiring someone that can do, you know, this big list of things that you know you need someone to help with, that's quite hard to find in one person.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, especially with startups, if they think that they need support and they need assistance and they need that extra pair of hands, then their automatic focus would be, right, okay, I need to expand my team, I need to grow. Reality is, actually, like you said, you know, you can't always find one person to possess all of those skills that they need to help you. So they go through that process of prioritizing it is what they need. And that process of recruiting and employing is, you know, costly. You know, recruitment costs are very, very expensive. The cost of employing in terms of, you know, tax, national insurance payments, holiday, sickness cover, technology, desk space, all of
the time that you need to commit to that person, to, you know, developing them, training them, getting them up in, you know, up to speed with what you expect for your business. Yeah,
absolutely. And that investment that you put into them is time consuming as well. And, you know, by outsourcing, you can absolutely switch on and switch off that resource as and when you need it and flex with your business. If you're having a downtime, you can kind of lower the volume on it. If you're busy and you need an extra pair of hands, you turn it up, which you can't do if you've got a static member of staff there. And then you've got HR procedures in place if you need to kind of downsize it and streamline again. So it presents other obstacles as well when you're recruiting.
So as an agency, I think we, you know, help our clients doing that recruitment of that flexible resource. So, you know, we can do the kind of, you know, vetting of the resource they might need, and like I say, advise on what actually it is they need. They might think they need something, but actually we can help with something else. And I think on the reverse side, our sort of network of freelancers within our team value working with an agency. One, you know, their skill set and their kind of thing that they want to spend their time doing is their skill, whether that's, you know, their they want to be doing web designing, or they want to be doing their you know, graphic design. They don't want to be spending their time going out there and trying to find their next client.
Yeah, and actually that's something that they might not possess the good skills in. You know, they might not be confident to go and sell their own services, and you know, that's a big thing for individuals. It's kind of to sit there and say, you know, shout about what they do and say, I do it really well. So in our model, you know, to come to us, we can align our clients with exactly the right VA, the right freelancer, the right person with the right skill set, not only skills based but experience based, industry specific experience as well, which is relevant. So they've got background and an insight into our client's own business, which is always really useful.
So how do you think, obviously 2020 has been a very strange year for a lot of our clients and, you know, businesses, the new businesses popping up. How do you think that's sort of changed things? I know a lot of our clients have had to pivot, and a lot of businesses out there are, you know, changing what their focus. They've had to go online, things that they would always do, you know, be done in person are now online. I think a lot of people had a lot of time to sort of sit and think this year about, actually, you know, is the business going in the right direction? Do I need to sort of relook at my business plan and my business model? Does that need to change? And I think we've seen that a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, massively. And I think we've had to do that as well. You know, at the beginning of the year, we were kind of, and especially, you know, someone like you, Marie, who started this business quite, you know, in this year.
Yeah.
You know, we've had to pivot. We've had to reassess what we're doing and review our own approaches to the way that we go to market and the way that we seek our clients. And it's absolutely the same. Everybody's had to kind of reassess. They've taken a bit of time to review processes and take a step back and look at their business from a bit further away. So I think it's presented its challenges, but from an outsourcing perspective for us, I think it's been we've seen some great successes.
Yeah,
people are seeing that outsourcing is a real way forward to kind of having that hybrid model, and that ability to grow without outlays of expanding a team.
I think the exciting thing for me this year is how, you know, the sort of way of working that we're all doing now, this sort of virtual way of working, and not having to be, you know, not have to have someone sat in your office with you 9 to 5 every day. I think that's been, you know, really exciting for people that are A, looking for flexible working opportunities, but B, for businesses to access, you know, different people, different skill sets from, you know, wherever in the UK. They don't need to be looking for, you know, recruiting someone that lives, you know, 10 minutes away down the road. It opens up a whole load of opportunities. And likewise for, you know, their clients, if, you know, you'd always sort of an in-person business, now you've suddenly got a, you know, huge client base that you could, you know, you can talk to online.
Yeah, you can serve, you know, it's just taken down that barrier of geography, hasn't it? You know, we can service clients from anywhere. And that's really important, because I think that kind of has that traditional way of thinking that you need to have somebody in your office to be able to be successful has kind of gone away. And I think that's an eye-opener for many businesses this year. And it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting.
So, I mean, there's always examples that we can talk about and, you know, share experiences with the audience today. But one particular example that I'd like to highlight is a carpenter's business that we work with, and we had traditionally been working with them for a couple of years now. He just needed a bit of help, email management, diary management, that sort of thing, keeping him organised in the background. And his business has now grown exponentially. He's now expanded, so his carpentry business is now a mechanical engineering business as well. He does interiors, and he's working on some huge projects because he realised that actually getting an extra pair of hands in to do the things that he didn't need to be doing has allowed him to achieve that growth that was his initial vision. So, you know, we work with so many different clients, small, medium-sized businesses, individuals. There is no minimum input that we can give. It could be an hour a week, or it could be 20 hours a week. It's really varied.
And I think, just to go back to some of the sort of other sort of services, I think that we've had to kind of ramp up a bit this year, just the way the world has been. We've done a lot of obviously supporting with that remote working. So we do a lot of setting up collaboration tools, and also we're doing a lot of the sort of online conferences, Zoom meetings, conferences, training, sort of facilitating those, because that's the way the world is now. We're not having those live events, as we know. And I think the other kind of key focus for a lot of our clients is the sort of efficiency, like say processes, how can they be more efficient? And we're doing a lot of setting up CRM systems so that they can look at how they're communicating with their clients, automate some of those communications, looking at sales funnels and doing sort of business development, which I know is a lot, which is key for a lot of businesses at the moment. And
it's keeping those clients up to date, isn't it? Because the world is changing so rapidly. There's new tools and new technologies coming out. So it's kind of having the support there to and that confidence that we can give our clients that we know what's going on in the world around us, and that technology that's evolving so rapidly is something that can generally be accessed and somebody else has done the research. So it's interesting times, isn't it?
Definitely. But then I think on the flip side, it's this year has been, obviously there's some businesses that have really sort of suffered during this time, but at the same time there's some that have gone they're absolutely flying and going through the roof. E-commerce businesses and things like that are doing really well. And I know we've got estate agents and tradespeople, builders and stuff like that on our kind of client roster who are actually really busy at the moment. So it's a bit of a tale of two halves really at the moment.
It is. It's absolutely that, and I think it's realizing that it's people have had to streamline. There's been some challenges for businesses, and it's making sure that you have a lean team and not being afraid to still accept that you can grow if you've had to cut back as well.
Totally. And I also think sometimes when people starting a business or an entrepreneur and growing it kind of maybe used to see success as having a grown team and starting to employ more people, but that's not necessarily going to be the best thing, because that's it takes a lot of time and effort to then manage that.
And I think that growth can come, if you outsource initially when you're kind of building those foundations and putting those building blocks in place, that growth can still come, but it's just using a virtual team to kind of get you to where you need to be before you actually start expanding a physical team is a really good way to help you achieve growth as business.
And likewise, obviously we do we work with a lot of solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, but we also do work with some slightly bigger businesses who do have staff on their books, but they might want to cover things like holiday or peak times in their business, or they may want to grow but they don't want to employ more people just yet. So it's just like I think people don't always think of outsourcing as an option.
And that's a really, really good point actually, is because in some of the larger organizations that we do work with, they often think, right, okay, we need to focus on this element of our business, and whether that's I don't know, I'm just going to use social media as an example. We all use social media day in, day out of our lives, personally probably. So it's all too familiar for businesses to kind of go, oh well, we just need somebody to do the social media, so such and such can do it in the office. Now they might be brilliant at doing their Facebook and Instagram posts at the weekend, but to do it from a B2B perspective is slightly different. So rather than just kind of using those people that you already have in your team, use people because they've got the right skills, assets, knowledge to actually kind of bring that into your business.
I think that can be a short-term thing as well, like it's almost like having a consultant, isn't it, coming in and, like say, a bit of an external pair of eyes, like actually this is what you should be doing with your social media, this is the way you should approach it, and this should be your sort of strategy, this is sort of content your audience want to see, this is what your competitors are doing, and then equip your team to then go away and implement that. At least they've got a bit of guidance and you've got a plan. It's not just sort of like say asking someone in the office to take it on as an extra. And
waving your finger in the air thinking, right, okay, what should we do next?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the really nice thing about that sort of support element as well, that you offer, you get from an agency, is that you are an extension of their own team. You are somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. You're not just engaging them because you want them to deliver the X, Y, and Z that you've asked them to do. It's kind of, how can we work with this? And we have so many sort of different skills within our team and within our network that we can pull the right experts in as and when we need them.
Yeah.
But you've always got that one point of contact that is completely focused on helping you realise that success in your own journeys.
Yeah. I think we've got a question. Should we look at the question?
Yeah.
What can I expect working as a freelancer? I think with an agency, and will I get a steady stream of work?
Yeah. So as a freelancer, working with an agency like ours, there's a number of benefits. One is that you've always got that middleman, that you've got that kind of somebody that's got your back, somebody that can represent you, and your interests and the client's interests are both at the sort of centre of everything that we're doing. Secondly, like we said earlier, you might not be the best person to go out there and sell yourself, because that takes quite a lot of confidence. So we can sell your services on your behalf and find you your next client. And thirdly, there's kind of that commercial insurance, I suppose, that actually we're doing the invoicing, we're doing that payment chasing. You don't have to worry about that. We have excellent tight payment terms with our clients. That's just some reassurance as a freelancer, that you want to know that you're going to get paid, and you're going to get paid on time. So yeah, there's some huge benefits, and that sort of support network that we offer internally as a business. We're very close, so we know that a lot of freelancers, it's a lonely place when you're working on your own and you're not sure if what you're doing is the right thing, and you might offer a niche spectrum of services, whereas actually you might want to collaborate with somebody else that offers complementary services. And by working with an agency, we can offer that as an open, a wider offering to our clients and to a freelancer's own service.
I think that example, I like nothing more than when we work with a client and you pull in, 2 or 3 different people with those different skill sets to work on a project, or, on an ongoing basis. And it's, like I say, it's having like a virtual team, and, the sort of input of everybody coming together with their ideas is just really, really helpful to clients.
Yeah, massively. And it really, really is a time-saving exercise as well for clients, because if you think, right, okay, I need somebody to do my website, I need somebody to do my branding, I need somebody to do my social media and my marketing, and that could be 5 or 6 or 7 or more different people, come to us and we'll pull those experts in for you.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay, so I think sort of going back to why people might be thinking, or how they should think about outsourcing. I think we sort of touched on it at the beginning, but reconnecting with your why you started the business in the first place. And it's always good to go back and remember that. If you're 6 months in, 12 months in, 5 years in, it's actually, what was my original purpose? Why did I start this? What did I aim to what did I set out to achieve?
What was your driver?
You've achieved everything that you wanted to, but actually, is your time being spent doing what you wanted to do? And are you doing the things that you do best?
Yeah, we do this a lot internally, don't we? As business, we kind of look at tasks and how tasks can be distributed, and we look at sort of where you're spending your time, where our clients are spending their time, what they should be doing best. What that driver is that drove them to go into business originally, to become that business owner and to do their own thing. And actually, if you do a simple, really, 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 really simple exercise of just kind of listing out those tasks that need to be done in order for you to deliver a successful business, and that could be, having those sticky tasks on a to-do list, like, I need to respond to this email, and I need to book this in, and I need to order Christmas cards or send out a virtual Christmas card, whatever it is. It's a really good exercise to kind of write down a list of all of those tasks, and then actually highlight which are the ones that really drove me to do this. What are the ones that made me want to go into business for myself?
Yeah.
what are the ones that I'm best at doing, and what are the ones that I can actually outsource?
Yeah. I think another example of that is doing, a retrospective look back at, so you sort of think in your head, like, these are all the things I do every week. But actually writing down what you do actually do, because I think you sort of tend to think that you spend your time working on your client's business, or you spend your time doing what you're supposed to be doing, but actually when you look back, probably 50% of your time is spent on doing other things.
Yes.
So you've got to keep everything ticking along. And I saw a really good example the other day, which was looking at that list and sort of marking it as a love it or a loathe it. So what are the things you love doing that that what you set out to do, they give you, that's where you get your energy and that's where you get your motivation from. And what are the things that you always put at the bottom of the list and you kind of think, oh, I've got to do that, but don't really want to.
Tackling those things on that list that you loathe first is, it's quite a good method to do, but if you don't enjoy doing them,
and you delegate them, and spend your time doing what you want to be doing.
Exactly. 80-20 of that list.
And the other big thing for us is obviously work-life balance, and I think that's no more important than it has been this year, but everybody knows that this sort of always on kind of big, everyone working at home and never having time to sort of switch off away from work. There's no commute, there's no kind of getting away from your laptop. It's really thinking about making sure you keep time for yourself, keep time to think as well, instead of sort of constantly firefighting and working in the business. It's like having that bit of headspace to go away and think about, actually, what do I want to focus on for my business in the next 6 months, 12 months? What are my goals? How am I going to achieve them?
And how to avoid burnout as well. I think we're all too used to, and you and I know that coming out of corporate life. But you don't want to burn out. You only live once. Life's short. Let's enjoy it. Let's not spend our times kind of flogging ourselves to an early grave. Let's enjoy doing what we do. And I think a really big takeaway here is kind of return on value. When you look at your own time and what it costs you to do something versus actually the cost of getting an expert to do it in probably a third of the time that you might be able to do it, that return on value is really, really key to why you might outsource. So got a couple of questions come in. So what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Oh God. Having to take the kids to school. No, I think, like we said at the beginning, I think, we both obviously feel quite passionate. We've always sort of worked in corporate world, we've always worked with clients, we've always worked with, big teams of people. And I think, just for me, it's sort of taking those skills and using it, working with smaller businesses, and it's been able to really make an impact on them. I think in corporate, you're sort of always sort of trying to climb the ladder. But actually, I think now, you can, if you support a client and you really make an impact on their business and they're able to grow and, sort of accomplish their vision, I think that's really rewarding. Yeah,
massively. And I think that's it. It's that success, that's that solution-based business, and seeing those results firsthand is really key, because, corporate life is kind of, you're just a piece of a puzzle, really. For me as well, though, it's variety. I love working with a massive variety of clients. That's really exciting.
And so many of our clients have such great energy. They've got those businesses that they love. They're in all different kind of sectors and different types of businesses, and it's good to work with them all and get there, see their energy and what they do and why they do it.
It's very inspiring as well as working with small businesses to know that they've kind of gone through a massive process and journey into kind of doing what they do. So that's really energizing.
Definitely.
And another question: what are your predictions for our industry over the next 12 to 24 months?
As in the sort of virtual freelance industry?
Outsourcing.
Oh, okay. Well, as like I said at the beginning, earlier on, I think the sort of virtual way of working, and the sort of more flexible working, thankfully, one of good thing that's come out 2020, I think, is that's now a given that everyone is going to want that. I don't think we'll ever go back to the whole 9 to 5 days a week in the office and having to have someone sat next to you watching over what they're doing, and that kind of micromanagement of people. I think that's really changed for the better this year. So I think, yeah, there'll be more people that want those flexible working opportunities, and also more businesses that are happy to work with a virtual resource. And I think, yeah, they can tap into that sort of agility that those types of people offer.
Yeah, and I definitely see, you know, our business is going to be growing massively in the next 12 to 24 months. It already has actually grown significantly in the last 12 months. Considering we're in a pandemic, you know, we've got more regional offices over the country in the last 6 months. So that's just proof that this is a service that is in demand. So I can only see that that is going to kind of get grow further and beyond. So
Yeah,
here's to the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Well, it's been really exciting, hasn't it?
I know, yeah.
Can't probably talk about this for hours.
You go on and on and on. But yeah, I guess I think we need to wrap up. So I just sort of, yeah, I guess for anyone out there that's thinking about next steps to outsourcing, I think our top tips would be think about, you know, what might be holding you back, what success looks like to you, why you started, what you love doing, and how you can, you know, try and focus on that moving forward.
Yeah, get some of your time back. So we've got an exhibition stand at the summit, so come and say hello. We've got some downloads on there as well, so there's some details about how you can best utilize VA, what a VA and virtual expert, I'm going to use that phrase from now on, can do for your business, and there's some offers in there as well that you can get some free time and services from us. So it's been great. We've got a colleague later today.
Yeah, Sarah's on at 2:45. She's talking about customer loyalty, which
oh, fabulous.
Good.
Yeah, Sarah's lovely. So she's doing a great masterclass there. So thank you.
Thank you all for joining us. Good to chat to everybody, and to you, Kristy.
And to you. Have a great day.
See you later.